G'day Internet and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about visas, specifically the visa that I will be applying for, which is the Special Resident Retirement Visa, or SRRV. So for many people, many of the expats that stay in the Philippines decide to stay on a tourist visa, which you get your 30 days straight up when you get there, and then you can apply for extensions, which cost a little bit of money. You can get extensions for around 2 or 3 months at a time, and then have to pay for a new extension again. Apparently you can do that for up to 3 years, and then after 3 years you need to leave the country, so effectively you have to do a visa run. Those visas are all managed by the Bureau of Immigration, or the BI. So in my case, I'm going for a Special Resident Retirement Visa, or SRRV. That visa is not done by or managed by the Bureau of Immigration. It is managed by the Philippine Retirement Authority, or the PRA. Now the PRA is in the Makati area in Manila. There are other branches around the country, but the main one is in Makati. So the benefits of having a SRRV are many. You get an exemption from having to apply for and maintain an ACR, or Alien Certificate of Registration card, identity card, which needs to be renewed each year. You also you get special rates on field health. You have unlimited entry in and out of the country. You don't have to pay entry and exit fee as people on long stay tourist visas would have to. You get an exemption from some of the taxes and excises on importing your personal goods in. That's a one-off, up to $7,000 US. And there's discounts from, a little bit like the New South Wales Seniors Card, there's discounts from some partner merchants that partner with the PRA and offer discounts to SRRV holders. The unlimited stay, not having to report to the Bureau of Immigration all the time to renew your visa and stuff. The multiple entries in and out of Philippines makes the visa a very good option, because you can effectively set up the Philippines as a base of operations, so that from there you can have your visits home back to Australia if you're going to be doing that on a reasonably regular basis. And you can use the Philippines as a base to go and visit Thailand and Malaysia and Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos, Japan, Taiwan, China, anywhere that you want to go. It's a lot easier from the Philippines, and with the multiple entries you're able to set Philippines up as a bit of a home base, really. And then at the end, if you want, you can cancel your SRRV and go back to your home country, or in my case, if I did that, then I would come back to Australia. The requirements for applying for a SRRV are fairly straightforward, and just forgive me for this part because I'm going to read it off the pamphlet. So you need the original passport with a valid tourist visa, the PRA application form, a medical certificate, a police clearance from your country. It's no older than 90 days from the date of entry to the Philippines. Once you get to the Philippines, you'll need to get a Bureau of Immigration clearance certificate, proof of bank certificate, inward remittance, or visa deposit. So I'll get onto the deposits in a little bit. There are some deposit requirements for the SRRV. You need 8 passport photos, basically. You're processing an annual fee, so the processing fee is 1,500 pesos, and the annual fee will depend on the particular type of SRRV that you apply for, and I will get to that as well. And if you have any dependents that you're bringing over with you under that visa, then you need proof that they're your dependents and so on. Right, so all of those documents that you obtain from your home country, in my case Australia, need to be apostilled. Now Apostille, from as far as I can determine, is it's like an official JP signature from government to government. The only place in Australia that you can have documents apostilled is at the Australian Passport Office. So in my case, the one in Sydney, there's one in every capital city. So the downside of having the apostilles done is it costs about $105 per document, and it's about a 6-week wait to be able to book. The booking appointments are 10-minute bookings, so you go in, submit the documents you want apostilled, and then they'll either send them back out to you, or you can hang around and wait for them and get them back on the day. How long that's going to take, I don't know. I've got an appointment in a few weeks for mine, so I'll get that. I'll document that little journey, and we'll see how long that takes. But it is difficult, and the Australian Passport Office will only allow you to have one appointment at a time. So if you have an appointment, you can't sort of set them up so that you've got one appointment next week, and then in another few weeks when you think you'll have more documents, then do one then, and so on. You can only have one appointment, and like I said, it's 6 weeks before you can get to an open appointment, unless somebody cancels and you're lucky enough to spot one on a particular day when you want it. So difficult to get the appointments, but necessary because you need to have that apostille done before you get over there. So the different types of visas. So previously there used to be about 4 or 5 different categories of SRRV. Now there is only 2. There is the courtesy visa and the classic visa. The courtesy visa applies to certain categories of people that are ex-military, ex-United Nations peacekeepers, and some other categories of work that people may have done that's recognised by the Philippines. So there's that, and there's the classic visa pretty much applies to everybody else. There are deposit requirements for your visa, and they differ according to which category of visa you apply for. So the classic visa, which is the general sort of SRRV, is it's a $15,000 deposit that needs to be deposited into a bank that's approved by the PRA. For the courtesy visa, for the ex-military types, it's $1,500. That's in addition to the $1,500 processing fee that needs to be paid when you submit your application. So the dollar amounts are all US dollars, not Australian dollars, so just be mindful of that. As well as the deposit and the application fee that goes with those, there's a yearly fee that needs to be paid to renew your SRRV each year. For the classic, I understand it's $365, so pretty much $1 a day to do the classic or renew your classic SRRV. And for courtesy visa, it's $100. So again, a big difference in the deposits and a big difference in the yearly fee for those visas. So you need to take all of these things into account when you weigh up the difference between paying for your 2-month extensions for a tourist visa and paying out all this money for a special resident retirement visa. But there are benefits, of course, as I've said, to having the SRRV. So in order to qualify for the SRRV, again, forgive me, I'm just going to read a little bit here. So there's for the classic option, you have to be at least 40 years old. So you can be 40 to 49, and the deposit for that in US dollars is $25,000 for a pensioner and $50,000 for a non-pensioner. If you're over 50 years old, it changes a little bit. So the visa deposit for a 50 50-year-old or older is $15,000 US, which is the amount I mentioned before. And for a non-pensioner, it's $30,000 US if you're over 50 and you would like to get yourself a SRRV. For the courtesy options, 40 to 49 years old for a pensioner is $3,000 US. For a non-pensioner is $6,000 US. 50 and above, the cash deposit for whether you're a pensioner or not is $1,500 US. So those costs are something that you need to factor into your calculations as to whether you're going to have an SRRV or a tourist visas, particularly if you're planning on staying for a considerable period of time. So as I said, my intention is to apply for the SRRV. I'll be doing that so that I can stay long term in the Philippines. I can come and go pretty much as I please and use the Philippines as a base. One, to come home and visit family and stuff in Australia, and maybe check on some other things while I'm here, and then to use it as a base to explore the rest of Southeast Asia. Like many, I've been to Thailand before, but I haven't yet been to Vietnam or Cambodia or Laos or Taiwan, all places that I want to go and have a look at. So I'll try and do a fair amount of travel, and of course I'll take you all with me when I do those travels, but also a lot of travel around the Philippines as well, which obviously you'll come along with me for those. So anyway, that's the information on the retirement visa. If you have any questions or anything else you'd like to know about these visas, then put the question in the comments below, or send me an email. The email address will be in the video description. You can help support my channel by hitting the subscribe and ring the notification bells for future videos as they're uploaded. Make a comment down below. Let me know what you think of the videos. If there's anything else that you want me to cover or discuss, share it with your friends, particularly anybody that's thinking about making a move like this to the Philippines, and maybe there's some information in here that would be helpful for them. Well, that's it from me for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up, make a comment below, subscribe and hit the notification bell. And hanggang sa muli, until next time.